According to recent figures from the U.S. Department of Education, children are spending a mean of 4 to 6 hours daily watching TV or movies, and that is before the coronavirus pandemic. It has been proven, time and time again, that children who read achieve. They do better in class and in life. Children who read tend to accomplish higher test and exam scores more often than their peers who read less often. However, getting children to easily open a book can sometimes be very tricky for folks and teachers alike. Reading to your baby is one among the simplest ways to assist them learn. You can start by simply spending a while lecture your infant and toddler, thereby helping them to develop the vocabulary they're going to got to enter school and start to read. And, in due course, as you point to and name the objects around them, they're going to start to know and associate the words with the objects. During a moment, they're going to eventually begin to feature those words into her vocabulary. If, after a short time, after a couple of years, you come to the conclusion that your child is showing little to no interest in reading, relax, there's hope. Sometimes parents need to be creative and obtain a touch sneaky. You'll still turn your reluctant child into a reader. The following 10 tips can help parents get their most stubborn children to read year-round. 1. Make the words wake up. When you read to children, pick a book that has large print. Point at each word as you read it. This manner your child will recognize and understand that the word being spoken is at the word they see. And to feature there too, did you recognize that a child's love for reading can grow when the words come to life? After reading, leave and share that have as a family. This can create a deeper family bond, and has the added power of putting the words into visual context. What do I mean? If you're reading to your child a book on bunny rabbits, attend a shop. Let your child see the rabbits, recite a couple of words from the book as you point to the rabbits. This creates a strong combination. The kid can relate to what they're hearing and seeing, making reading as fun as possible. 2. Read to open long-term dialogue. One of the simplest belongings you can do to make sure that your child will get older reading well and loving to read is to read to them a day. As we said earlier, reading together will create a special and powerful bond between the two of you. And this has a particularly important additional advantage which will help them open the doors for a dialogue which will continue throughout the more trying years of adolescence. The U.S. Department of Education suggests that, when parents read to children, it's important that they take the time to debate new words. Take the time to elucidate what each new word means and do your best to incorporate the maximum amount sensory methods as you can: sight, hearing, touching. Today a reader, tomorrow a pace setter. Margaret Fuller. 3. Hear your child. When parents spend time talking and reading to children, they ought to also take the time to concentrate to their children. This will help their children prepare to read faster. When you read and ask your child, use sounds, gestures, songs, and even words that rhyme to assist your child study language and its many uses. Inspire your child to try to an equivalent and be aware of them. This is vital. There's nothing worse than a toddler feeling they're being ignored. When you leave together with your child to the supermarket, practice remarking the printed words there. You'll point to a fruit, and ask your child what that fruit is and ask them to spell it and mention it for a moment. 4. Never leave home without it. Take some books with you wherever you go. You never know when your child gets excited to read, and once they do, cherish the instant, and take full advantage of it. Of course, this will even be beneficial sometimes once you don't wish to be disturbed, so by delivering a book to your child it gives them fun activities to try to entertain themselves with, and it keeps them occupied while you're driving, chatting with friends, or running errands. 5. Keep the books within easy reach. As well as creating a quiet, special place in your home for your child to read, write, and draw, make it some extent to stay the books and every one other reading materials within easy reach of your child. Perhaps you'll provide your child with their own bookshelf or small bookcase. This may not only make them feel special, but it'll also communicate to them that reading is special. An added bonus might be you reaching out for a book on their shelf for you to read ahead of the kid. This manner the kid can see that you simply also are reading, and this may make them realize that reading is vital. So please, oh please, we beg, we pray, go throw your television receiver away, and in its place you install a stunning bookshelf on the wall. Roald Dahl, Charlie and Therefore the Chocolate Factory. 6. Read a favorite book over and once again. Get into the habit of recognizing your child's favorite books, and skim them over and once again. Repetition has the facility of creating the words sink in further and further into the child's mind. Also, you'll consider ways to form it more fun whenever you read that favorite book. Be creative. Time and time again, read the stories that have rhyming words and features that repeat, and have your child take part the fun. 7. Provide encouragement. Parents play an important role by reading to children, and this greatly affects the child's education. Children whose parents encourage them to read are more likely to read much more books than those parents leave reading up to them. Encourage your child to read as often as possible, without pressurizing them, as this might put them off reading. Reading to children requires tactical persuasion, and getting children to read by themselves requires creative encouragement. Reading without reflecting is like eating without digesting. Burke. 8. The first bedtime trick. Here's an excellent coaxing approach that a lot of successful parents have utilized in the past to read to children. Set your child's bedtime to be half hour before lights out. Allow them time to perform all the before bedtime duties, like brushing their teeth, stepping into their pajamas, saying their goodnights to others, using the toilet, and so on. Once done, allow them to happily hop into bed, then you open their favorite book, or book of their choice, and you read to them. This is to be done before their official lights out bedtime. After that, simply smile and say, "It's time for bed, now." Would you wish lights out, or would you wish to remain up and skim for a touch longer? More often than not, unless the kid is especially tired, they'll prefer to read a while longer. This manner they think it's their idea, powerful, huh? Allow the kid to settle on whichever book they wish to read until the time comes where you kiss them and bid them a good night and switch the lights out. 9. Summer reading enticement. Where possible, check in for an area summer reading club at your local library, or plan to read together with your neighbor's children. Call at the rear garden. Have them alternate reading to children that are present. Some like to boast their reading skills. On a rainy summer's day, with the advanced technology of those days, you'll always have your child read to their grandmother and grandfather via the web. If your local library is closed, or your child doesn't want to be cooped indoors, you'll always take them bent and in-depth park, lay a blanket on the grass and skim to every other. Practice the art of oldsters reading to children, then children reading to oldsters. Think of ways you and your child, and other children, can celebrate with it. I believe we should always spend less time worrying about the number of books children read and longer introducing them to quality books which will turn them on to the enjoyment of reading and switch them into lifelong readers. James Patterson. 10. Read the whole book before you see the movie. If your child is keen to ascertain a specific movie, get the book and have the kid read it first before you're taking them to the movie. Make it a rule that you simply don't take them to the movie until they've read the whole book. This will encourage them to read, and therefore the added bonus is that they'll understand the movie more because they read the book with you, and you, quite likely, added life to it, explaining things the kid didn't understand. There you've got your 10 reading to children tips that you simply got to learn and implement now, or a minimum of, as soon as possible. Reading is extremely important for youngsters. It prepares them for adulthood. Reading may be a prerequisite to success and maybe everything in life. If you think that about it, altogether areas of life, there's something to read: road signs, food labels, newspapers, prescription labels, letters, emails from banks or work. We are all surrounded with things to read. We cannot avoid reading. Period. Reading shouldn't be presented to children as a chore, a duty. It should be offered as a present. Kate DiCamillo. Do your best, make it one among your life's missions, to show your children into avid readers. The more methods that you simply can combine into your child's reading experience, the more likely you're to assist your child grow into a robust reader. Always, constantly consider ways to infuse into your child that reading is fun. And, for you as a parent, remember that you simply can never be too old, too wacky, or too wild to select up a book and skim it together with your child. Reading to children may be a must in every household. Stories are the foremost important thing within the world. Without stories, we wouldn't be citizenry in the least.